So this morning, my wife came out and said, what?
I'm gonna rip off the front end of my car.
What wonderful words I can hear. I'm Sean.
I'm Jill.
This is 151 Garage. Very abused 151 Garage, but 151 Garage nonetheless. You stop it. God. The last video we tore apart the inside and found out there's really no rust or damage or anything like that to the inside. That's what we're worried about, having to replace the flooring or the trunk pan or anything like that. That's all perfect.
It's
now,
a gamble when you get a salvage car.
The last thing I want to do is fix the engine, get it running to find out when we tear the interior, it's basically Flintstone mobile. There is no floor pans in it and stuff like that. I've had vehicles like that. They ran well. You pull up a carpet and I swear where you were standing was no floor whatsoever, or so little when you put pressure on it without the carpet, it just completely collapsed. We didn't want to do that, so we started off.
How did the seat not fall through?
Huh?
How did the seat not fall through?
That was the only thing that was there. Everything underneath where your feet was completely gone.
Oh my.
Volkswagens. Thank God you can get the floor pans for cheap and they're easy to put in. But
still better than Bend Evo.
yeah. But today she wants to take off the front end and start to go into basically repairing the radiator, the bumper and stuff like that. So we are going to go ahead and pretty much take apart the front end. Now we aren't going to take apart the fenders. We're going to leave those on. That way they kind of, it looks like a complete vehicle. I don't want to have my neighbors be pissed when I take off everything. We'll get new fenders, take them off and put them right back on. The bumper, the lights, the grill, the radiator.
It's just going to be direct
like
front. So
just everything in the front that's damaged, which is everything in the front that's damaged.
So everything in between the two fenders is going to be off. Minus the hood is going to stay. So we're not going to take off the hood. There's no reason to take off the hood.
There's nothing wrong
so
with it.
So it's literally the bumper forward.
So let me pull you off the thing and show you. So what we're looking at to take off is the headlights, the bumper right here. Obviously you can see that. This headlight, this right here, I believe we can keep because it does look pretty salvageable. It's just kind of not connected anymore. We do need to find out what's underneath here. I believe this is good. I think it went underneath, and then we got to go in and take off the radiator and the condenser. So we will, the lines are all bent and messed up, so we'll go ahead and start taking all this apart and stop when we find stuff. Hopefully we don't find much other than,
and I'll tell you what we find. And
yeah, okay, be right back.
All right, so a lot of these bolts are going to be 10 millimeter up on top. So I'm going to take off the sight shield. It looks like we may have to take the fender off to get the headlights out and then put them back on, because there's a thing right there. It goes back in. There's a tab that way.
No.
Maybe.
No, because the tab's right there.
Oh, can you get it?
No, it's broken. Don't need to get it.
Scoot.
Just tell me to scoot.
Yes, I did.
Stop.
Wait. Oh, there's the bumper off. Okay, so what I'm looking at, I'll give you a really quick anatomy of the car. This is your actual bumper, okay? So when you get into an accident, just any kind of front end collision, this is your actual bumper. The big plastic piece that goes in front of that is called a bumper cover. That's what hides this. These are what's called bells or bumper reinforcement beams. This connects to this. They're usually welted on or bolted on. This is your radiator support, your horns. Your AC is usually in the front, and then the radiator's behind that, and then behind that is your fans. your washer fluid reservoir, your pockets for the headlights, your hood release, your horns, your high and low, and that's about all she wrote. But that's the basic anatomy of this car. As you know, there's no shield underneath. That's going to cause a problem, so you're going to have to get a shield. And the reason why you want a shield underneath your car is because airflow will go up, and that can cause that to go up if it's not properly latched to your car. And yes, it has happened. So we need to get an under shield or lower engine shield.
Well, we won't be doing that because we'll be putting a metal skid plate, aluminum
Or
skid
that,
plate underneath.
but
So
either
that'll
way, you're
help.
going to have some kind of shield, whether it be plastic or metal, depending on what it is, to block the airflow from going up and pushing the hood up. All right, so what I was really looking at was I was looking at the other side really well. It just has a little bit of damage to it. Usually when these are damaged, I usually will replace these in the body shop, but this isn't that bad because this is straight.
All it's damaged is right here on the other side. It doesn't even look that bad.
No, that's why I'm not going to worry about
Yeah,
it.
this
But
looks pretty
if
good.
this was in a body shop, I would be replacing this. But this is fine. I'm happy with it. That's why I was checking the other side just to see if sometimes they look crushed and that's just the way they're made. So that's why I was going back and forth looking at it. I just wanted to compare sides to make sure that this was actual damage and not just the way it was made. But the frame rail here, or the bell, is fine, so I'm good with that.
So if you guys want to know, she used to be a estimator for body shops. She looks at all this stuff all the time. That's why when she saw pictures of this, she knew it was going to be pretty good by the look of just the pictures. So a lot of the estimates that she's done is she'll take pictures of everything, real good pictures, and then she'll do the estimates through those pictures. Obviously, when you take the bumper off and you find more damage underneath, she'll have to go further, but she'll know what to look for if the bumper is completely destroyed like this. On a good note, that's not bad.
Yeah, the grill's not bad.
It was painted before because you can see the overspray right there. Mm-hmm. They didn't tape it off very well, but that's intact. So it's not something we have to throw away and buy another piece. So
Pulled off one earlier.
it was destroyed. It was actually hanging on the ground, getting run over. But we're gonna end up replacing these anyways. Hey, you can even see it was painted there. They just taped
Yeah.
up right there and painted. So that's kind of how you tell if the car was damaged before and painted, because you do have overspray in certain areas.
Or when somebody decides, hey, I don't want this color anymore, and they kind of do a halfway good job taping it off and just change something about their car, you can tell it that way too.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was never repainted a different color because the interior of the engine bay is white. If it was different color, that would be a different color. So
And that's also how you can tell if you have a really good body shop or not.
that one wasn't broken. It is now. If you guys are wondering,
That's your fan.
it is missing two blades. These two blades are completely gone. So we'll keep this because we do need this for the new fan. Now that's out.
Want to show them underneath here?
You
So we're
wanna
going
do
to take you off the stand for a second and show you, without the fan in the way, what's going on.
Okay, so right now we have all that down there. That's not damaged, so it didn't go that far. That's as far as it went in. So it didn't touch this. I guess whatever stopped it, stopped right there. Oh, there's the other part of the fan. Fell out. So there you go.
The bar that's underneath it here is your subframe. That's what that is.
Not bad.
So I'm holding up the power steering pump, and then that's the AC condenser slash radiator.
Then we have this we got to pull out, which I have to undo that.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is the
I think-
actual radiator, sorry.
I think that's all that it is. Now I do have
these lines right here connected, but they're going to that. I believe that's your transmission cooler, which seems like it's crushed too. Not as bad, but we'll have to get another one of those as well. Okay, let me put you back on the stand and see where we go.
So we got the air conditioner out, so what you're looking at is the transmission cooler, and right behind that is the radiator.
Yeah, so this right here is the lines for the power steering. It's like the cooling lines for the power steering. It goes up to the power steering right there, and then goes around straight to the power steering itself. So we'll have to get new lines. Right now I know I need to get new lines for this. I need to get a new transmission cooler as well as a new radiator. Air condenser we're not going to worry about. We're just going to not worry about that at all. But again,
we have windows, we don't need AC.
Simple. It's going to be on a rally track, so,
yeah, so
it's not going to be driven for very long. Not too bad right now. We'll be right back. I'm going to clean up a little bit, download, and we're right back. Now that we're back, it's time to take off this. I have noticed the mount on that side is busted. I'll show you just a second. We'll have to pull that out somehow. But as far as the radiator, there we go. There we go. So as you can see, it was crushed in pretty bad. Now, I thought it would leak from here, but it didn't. It actually broke this entire side right here. So this, with the petcock and everything like that, is all broken off. So, let's see. As well as the mount. So, yeah, this right here was broken off the side. So whenever it hit, it broke this completely off and just spilt everything out, as well as broke this mount off the bottom. This is what it's supposed to look like. All one. This is just basically all beat to death. So we'll strip all the hardware off of it because we may need it for other things like the clips and stuff. We may need it for other stuff. But right now, that's as far as we're gonna go. I don't want to take off that just yet. The this line, transmission cooler, I want to make sure that we can get another one fairly easy before I go remove that, because at that point we're going to have to take out all the transmission fluid, which we plan on doing anyways. We just want to make sure that we do it eco-friendly, not just dump it on the floor. But we'll do that after we get the radiator and make sure everything else is good. While we have everything out, we are going to look at any kind of oil leaks that we might have with the oil pan or the head gaskets or the valve cover gaskets or anything like that. We want to make sure that while we have enough room to basically sit in here and mess around, we get that done, because I don't want to move around all the other stuff that's in here after it's put together and possibly damage it. It's easier to do it this way than have to take everything back out to do what you're going to do anyway. So you get a good look at all the hoses and stuff.
yeah, so one day I might be in here cleaning the engine bay.
So part 3 of this series, we actually tore all this apart. We did find some more damage that we weren't expecting. I did not expect the transmission cooler to be sandwiched in between the two and crushed. I thought it would be higher up, but it is damaged, as well as the lines for the power steering.
Yeah, we couldn't see that when it was on the truck, 'cause it was on the high part of the truck, and when they brought it down, we were looking underneath and everything. We didn't even see that.
It was pretty hard to see everything in between the two because everything was crushed together. It's hard to see something in the center whether it's damaged. So this is a good point of take things apart, see what there is before you go any further, because we want to make sure that what we are ordering is ordering the stuff we needed. Now, we do need a radiator. I knew that from the start because I knew it was pretty much destroyed. So we do have one of those on order. We will be looking into the other parts that we need.
We're not doing the AC.
Not doing AC, but we are looking at
all those will be capped off.
we are looking at the other parts for basically repair it. But while we do that, we're going to go ahead and drain all the fluids and put new fluids in and replace that at the same time. So that will be a later video when we do all that and replace all those parts. But
yeah, videos probably in between what we just did and putting in the new parts. I'll probably be in here cleaning up the engine bay by hand and stuff. I'm not going to use anything fancy. It's just going to be a bucket of water with a little bit of soap and a rag, because I need to see if there's any leaks. So I'm not going to power wash anything, because anytime that you have something that's electronically controlled, and I've learned this on my first car, if you take a hose to it, it may not start.
well, that plus we have a lot of open lines, so we're not going to do that. We're going to, like I said, we're going to cap all the lines off, keep it protected, keep the bugs and the lizards from making homes in it. It's inevitable if you do this, things will get into the lines that you don't want them to get into. So, but for number two, it is kind of a win because we don't see any further damage than we already expected. Now, we knew there was stuff in between, we just didn't know it was damaged, but there's nothing beyond that. There's no frame damage, there's no structural damage. It's just bolt-on pieces that we can replace at a minimal cost. I mean, it's a dime a dozen for these cars.
So I did pretty good about putting this on the watch list when we were looking at a lot of cars on Copart, because that was one of the things I was looking at is the extent of damages. I'm like, how deep do we really want to go into this? And the pictures told me what I needed to know. That just wasn't too bad.
Will we do this again? Absolutely. It's actually pretty interesting.
It's kind of fun.
We'll leave you up there. Again, we did open up membership and super thanks to anybody who wants to contribute. Everything will go towards her build in this vehicle and her gear. So see you next video.
Bye.